y'all, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. In today's video, we are going to be playing with the new Lethal Cosmetics Dexter collab, and this is going to be a fun one that I cannot wait to dive into because I love Dexter. It's a favorite show of mine. I have watched it over and over at this point, but I also think that just from an aesthetic point of view, Lethal killed it with this collection, no pun intended. Now, I didn't pick up everything in this collection because it was rather large. I didn't need everything. I decided to show a little bit of restraint, but we will go over everything that was included in this collection and what I did pick up as we get into them. So we're gonna go ahead and create a look today. I will have everything listed and linked down below in the description box. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check the description box. I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's jump into this and start creating our look. Alright y'all, so we're going to kick this off with the star of the show, which is the eyeshadow palette, and this is my favorite part of the entire collection because it looks like Dexter's blood slide box. Yes, it's a little bulky, it's probably going to be a pain in the butt to store, but it's what makes this collection so much fun. I'm telling you, it's the attention to detail with this. But it opens just like this, and inside we have this absolutely beautiful 11 pan color story. You've got 6 mattes, 5 shimmers, and I think this is really pretty. We definitely have some more cool tone gray leaning shades down here, which aren't my absolute favorite, as I have been very vocal about, but I am coming around to them. I love the reds up here. I think the shimmers look absolutely beautiful. I really like the attention to detail, even with the embossings and the palettes and the shade names in here. I mean, we've got Rita, Dokes, Tooth Fairy, Harry, Nurse Mary, Trinity, Lila, Miguel. I mean, just absolutely cool. And even the mirror in here has like blood splatters around it, and it says Dexter, tonight's the night. Oh, I love it. So much fun. But we are going to create our look together. So we are only going to be creating one look in today's video because I do have somewhere to be later, and it's like a senior thing up at the school. I don't want to show up looking all crazy with 2 eye looks, and I don't think my son would appreciate it either, but we're going to do one look at least, test out this formula, and just have fun and play with it. So I already went ahead and primed my eyes with my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly, and we're going to get this started. So this is kind of interesting to hold, but I'm going to do my best. So I think I want to do something kind of red and smoky. I don't want to take it too dramatic, but at the same time, I don't really care. It is what it is. So I think what I'm actually going to do is we're going to start out with this red shade right here, which is called Harry. So I am going to pick that up with sort of a packing brush, and we're going to go in with this one from Sigma Kristen Dominique collection. This is her eye and nose contour brush. So I'm going to go ahead and start by kind of packing this right out here on my outer corner. Look at that. Instant pigmentation. Oh my gosh. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with the Lethal Cosmetics formula. I think I have 2 of their regular palettes, and then I have the oh my gosh, what's it called? Avatar: The Last Airbender collection that they came out with last year. That was an incredible formula. I was really, really impressed with it. So I'm hoping that this is that same incredible formula. But so far, this is nice and pigmented. I'm not getting any fallout. It's not patching. It is 100% true to color, and it's blending out very easily. So I'm just going to keep that right here in my outer corner, and I'm going to kind of bring it over just a little bit, kind of blending it, softening those edges just a little bit. And I think for now I'm going to keep all the red up here. I don't know if I want to do something different on the lower lash line or if I want to make it just kind of monochromatic red, but we'll figure it out as we go. All right, so next I want to go into this bright red shade right here, which is called Dokes, and I want to kind of fluff that along the edges and just kind of soften everything up and blend it. So I am going to pick that up with a Game Beauty, what are you called? You're an EO7 brush, so it's just a small kind of fluffy brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that red shade, and I'm going to go right along the edges, very light-handed, and just sort of kind of blend this out, give me a little bit of a gradient going on, kind of blend it out here, and I am going to bring it into my inner portion of my crease as well, but I'm not going to bring it over into my inner corner. I just want to play with as many of the shades as I possibly can while still getting a nice cohesive look, and that is blending out really, really nicely. I am going to have to go in with probably another shadow that's really light to just kind of soften this a little bit because I am so fair and I don't want to have any harsh lines, and this isn't going to blend into my skin the way that I want it to, but this is performing really nicely really, all right, so I'm not exactly sure where, but somewhere my camera cut off, my memory card filled up, and I don't know exactly what I was saying, but I do want to note that this collection did include a brush set. It has 10 brushes in it. It retails for $49, and y'all, it is so cute. It looks just like the tools that Dexter uses to kind of do his thing, but I decided to skip out on it and resist, but it was really, really tempting because it was that cute looking. But it does have like face brushes and eye brushes in it, and they are really, really cute. And from what I've heard, Lethal has a really good brush that they make. All right, so before we move on, I want to soften the edges of this look just a little bit, and there's not really anything else in this palette to do it with. So I'm going to go in with the powder that I use to set my under eyes. This is my Pat McGrath Blurring Under Eye Powder in the shade Baby Pink. So it has just that little bit of a pink tinge to it. And I'm going to pick this up with a Sigma E25 brush, and I'm just going to go in very light-handed right along the edges of this look. I want it to be dramatic, but I also want it to be blended as well. So I'm just kind of softening it up the littlest bit, just going right along the edge of this look. And you see how it's just kind of blending it and softening it a little bit more so it's not as harsh as over here. I don't like to have harsh lines, so that's why I didn't really blend it out the best when I was putting that shade on, just because I knew I was going to go back in with this, and that was really going to do the trick. So next I want to deepen up this outer corner just a little bit. So I'm going to go into this deep brown shade over here, which is called Doomsday. And I'm going to pick that up with this little brush from Sigma. This is an E45. It's a small tapered blending brush. And I'm just going to pick up a very small amount of that shade and just build up a little bit of depth right out here. Look at how pigmented that is. Oh my gosh. Now I'm just going to go back with like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go in with back and forth blending motions and just kind of blend that shade out, and look at that. Effortless, so easy, no issues at all. And I am going to bring this down onto the very outer portion of my lower lash line, so just kind of wrapping it around, and then once I've done that, we're going to work on the lower lash line. So to finish off my lower lash line, I want to go into this shade right here. It's this really pretty cool tone purple shade. It definitely has like a gray undertone to it, but that one is called Lila. So I'm going to pick that up with a Sigma E45 brush. So another one like the one I just used. This one's just a little bit bigger, and I'm going to just fluff this right along my lower lash line. So I'm not going to blow it out too much, but I'm also not tight lining or anything like that. I just want to blend it and smoke it out down here and make sure that I connect it over in my outer corner, but I'm not going to bring it into my inner corner. I want to reserve that for something kind of sparkly and fun, a little pop in there to kind of lighten things up. Okay, so my lid is primed and ready to go with my NYX glitter primer, and for all over the lid, I'm deciding between these two shades right here. So I'm going to swatch them out on the back of my hand and make a decision from there. So we're going to start with this red shade right here, which is called Tooth Fairy, and then we'll swatch out this other one, which is called Rita. So let's pick a little bit of that up on my finger. Holy smokes, look at how beautiful that is. This is stunning. Wow, that is such a foiled, reflective, very smooth shimmer shade. I love that one. That one may be the winner, but we're still going to swatch out Rita. So let me pick up a little bit of that. Ooh, this one is beautiful as well. We may need both of these shades because decisions are really hard. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Those are insanely reflective and beautiful. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the True Red Shimmer shade, which is absolutely calling my name. That one is called Tooth Fairy. So we're going to start with that shade, and I'm going to pick that up with a clean brush that I have floating around here somewhere if I can find one. Let's go in with this one. Nope, not that one. That one has an angle to it. Hold on just a second. All right, so we're gonna go in with a Sigma E54 brush, and I'm gonna pick up that first shade, which is called Tooth Fairy, and I am going to spray it with my MAC Fix Plus just so I can minimize fallout. This is a little bit more on that flaky side. It's smoothed out really nicely on the back of my hand, but I'm gonna get fallout with this, I can already tell you, which is okay. It'll probably wipe away, but this will help minimize that. So I'm gonna start by pressing it on my lid. I don't wanna drag it. And surprisingly, I am not getting any fallout. none at all. I'm just gonna press that all over my lid, and I'm also gonna bring that over to my inner corner, but I'm not gonna bring it into my inner corner. And I'm just gonna press that right here into like the crease of my lid and kind of blend it over to out here. Wow, that is insanely beautiful. Holy smokes. All right, so with my same brush, we're gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Rita, and I'm gonna press this on like the very center of my lid. So I'm gonna pick it up, spray it once again, and I'm just gonna press this right here on the very center, kind of giving this little foiled spotlight moment. Oh yeah, you can really see that when I kind of move my face and the light shifts. These are beautiful. All right, so now we're gonna do the inner corner, and we're gonna go in with this shade right here, this really pretty white shimmer shade that looks like it has blood splatter in it. And that one is called Trinity, and that was actually one of my favorite cases that he had on the show. I can't remember what season it was. I think it was pretty early on, and that whole season was so good. I love John Lithgow, and the ending, it'll never be the same for me. I will never forget the way I felt when I watched that for the first time. The ending of that one just, oh, it left me in shock. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick this shade up very carefully because I want to leave the blood splatter kind of thing intact. But I'm picking it up with a Game Beauty EO8 brush, and I am going to spray it again. And I'm just gonna pop this right here in my inner corner, giving me a little bit of sparkle. That's really pretty. It has a nice like iridescence to it. It has a little bit of a pinky flip, and I didn't even go into like the red portion of it, but that's really pretty. This one's a little bit smoother than the other ones that I picked up for all over my lid. But yeah, I love that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off with liner and mascara, and I will come back, show you the completed look, and then we'll jump into the rest of the products that I picked up for this collection. All right, y'all, so this is the completed look with the eyeshadow palette, and I think this turned out beautiful. I'm really loving this red smoky look. It is very much so on theme, and overall, I really enjoyed the performance of the eyeshadow palette. But we do have more products in this collection to chat about and try on, so let's go over what I used to finish off this look. So in my lower waterline, I went in with a Kylie Cosmetics liner in the shade Matte Black. I lined my lid with my ZC liquid liner, and for mascara, I went in with my Il Makiage Black Card mascara. But next product that we have to chat about in this collection is going to be the highlighter. And first of all, this thing is huge. There is 30 milliliters or 1.01 fluid ounces of product in this pump, and that's a lot of highlighter, but this is really cool. So luminol is the product that Dexter uses to kind of look for blood that's been washed away and stuff like that. And this is supposed to have like a really cool flip to it. So let's get a little bit on the back of my hand. If I can prime the pump and get some out. Hang on. All right, there we go. So that took just a minute to kind of prime the pump, but this is what it looks like pumped out. It is very runny, but let's go ahead and kind of disperse it on the back of my hand. Look at that. That is so insanely beautiful. I'm hoping that the camera is picking up that really pretty flip that it has to it. And later on when I turn the lights down after we're done with everything so we can see the shifts with the flashlight, you will be able to see it a little bit better. But that is insanely beautiful. It has like this iridescent base to it with like this really pretty like purple blue flip to it. Absolutely stunning. So we're going to put this on as my highlighter today. So I think what I'm going to do is just take what's on my finger and just kind of pat it right here. My face is not powdered, so I have an unset face that I'm putting this over. I'm doing my ABH wear test, so I don't have any powder on today, but look at that. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I love the way that looks, and whenever I look straight ahead, you can't see it, which is something I look for in a highlighter. If you've been here, you know that. I love it when a highlighter is undetectable when you look straight ahead, and it's just whenever you turn your cheek that it's like bam. That is so much fun, y'all. I am going to be beaming and grungy and smoky at this little senior thing tonight at the school, but look at that. Oh, I love it so much. So this is what the highlighter looks like applied to both of my cheeks, and y'all, this is insanely beautiful. I cannot get over how gorgeous this looks on the skin. It was very easy to apply and blend out. It didn't lift my product underneath. Obviously, I want to try it over a powder product in the future to see if it's going to perform the same way, but based off a first impression, this is an incredible formula. It's very thin and lightweight. It doesn't have any like chunky glitters in it or anything like that, and I'm loving that sort of wet effect that it's giving my skin. Gorgeous. Love it so much. But let's move on because this collection did include some lip products. So first we have the lip stains, and I picked up one of them. It came with 2 shades. This is the shade Born in Blood, and the other one is going to be Dark Passenger. These retail for $14 a piece, and I love this component. It's got the fingerprint on here. It's like a little evidence sample. So let's try this on. I'm not going to swatch it on the back of my hand because it is a stain and my hand's already stained enough. So we're just going to go straight onto the lips with this. So let's go ahead and just apply. Ooh, look at that color. I love it. Nice and thin, very cool feeling. It's really hard to talk and do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply it and sort of line my lips at the same time. The shade Dark Passenger was a deeper, more like congealed blood red, have you? This one I thought was fun. It's more bright. All right, so that is our lip stain, and I think this is beautiful. It's very comfortable, thin, it feels nice and hydrating, very cooling on the lips. It didn't patch, it was very easy to apply. It went on really evenly. So I'm gonna give it just a couple of minutes to kind of dry down, and then we're gonna do like a transfer test. I'm gonna kind of wipe it off with a Kleenex and see what the stain is left behind, but that looks really pretty, nice and comfortable. Okay, so I've had this on for a couple minutes. We're gonna go ahead and blot this off with a Kleenex and see what it leaves behind. Ooh, that left a really pretty red stain. It definitely clung to like the dry skin that I have right here in the center of my lips, but that's to kind of be expected. But overall, I really like the color that it left behind, and lip stains are excellent for under like a liquid lipstick or another lipstick, just so you have more even wear throughout the day, especially if you have like a special event going on where you're eating or something like that. But these are also really nice under glosses as well. And speaking of glosses, this collection did include 2 lip glosses as well. I picked up the shade M99, which is the drug that he uses to essentially knock out his victims, and the other one that they came out with was Aconite. These both retail for $14.50. The shade Aconite is more of a red shade, but I thought this one was just super unique. It has the same component as the lip stain, and we're going to try this on over top. So let's do a swatch on the back of the hand so we can see what this is going to look like. Okay, really pretty, nice and thin. It has just a really soft kind of orange tint to it, nothing super intense. But let's put this on over top. That is very, very thin. It feels very hydrating. It doesn't feel thick or goopy. It feels like a really nice lip oil. So this is definitely an oil, not a gloss, which I prefer an oil these days. I have been on quite the lip oil kick just because my lips have been so insanely dry, and this is really comfortable. I really like the shade of it. It's really accentuating that dryness on my lips. I probably should have exfoliated before I did this, but it is what it is. Here we are. I'll probably throw a lipstick on over top so you can't see it, but overall, really comfortable, thin, hydrating, very pretty on the lips. All right, y'all, so this is the completed look with this collection, and I think it turned out beautiful. Overall, I think Lethal did a fantastic job with this collection. The formulas were incredible. The packaging and the attention to detail was 100% on point. I had a lot of fun playing with this collection, but let's go over these products individually so I can give you my first initial impression thoughts. So let's start with the eyeshadow palette. First of all, the packaging is gonna get a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't think you could have done more perfect packaging than Dexter's Blood Slide box for the eyeshadow palette. But I think the color story in here is absolutely beautiful. I think it goes along with the theming perfectly. I love that you have these blood red shades up here. You have these more dark, smoky, gray leaning cool tone shades down here as well. I really love the gradient in here, and I love that we have a mix of warm tones and cool tones. My only issue with the color story in here is I wish we had something a little little bit lighter for my skin tone personally. I did have to bring in a setting powder to kind of blend things out and soften things just a little bit, but that's a personal preference thing, not a big deal. I do have plenty of things in my collection I can bring in, but if you have a deeper skin tone, this is going to be beautiful on you because these shades are very pigmented. So pigmented that they can get away from you very quickly, but they're also very easy to blend out. I didn't have any issues building them up on one another. I didn't get any patching, skipping, or fallout at all. Now the shimmers in here are not my favorite, not because they're not beautiful and reflective on the lid, but just because they are emphasizing the texture on my lid. That's not them creasing or sinking in, that's just them kind of grabbing onto the texture on my lid, and it definitely has to do with the fact that they are a little bit more chunky. They probably will go on better with a finger, so I'll continue to try it out and give you my actual final thoughts in a future palette ranking video. This is just my first initial impression thoughts. I need to play around with this palette more before I can give you that, but as far as creasing goes, I'll have to keep you posted as well. I don't know if they're going to have potential to creasing. They might, because they are a little bit more on the emollient side, but they're not super emollient, but very easy to work with. They do look beautiful. They're sparkly, they're reflective. I didn't get any fallout with them, so they are a really nice formula. But if you are somebody who has more mature lids and texture and emphasizing that is a concern to you, these are probably not going to be the best shimmers for you overall. But I do think the formula is beautiful, and I love the attention to detail in this palette. All right, so moving on to the lip products, we had a lip stain and a lip oil, and I thought both of these were really nice. I think the stain left behind a really pretty flush of color on my lips. It went on very evenly. It was nice and thin. It wasn't thick or goopy. It didn't apply weird or patchy. It did cling to the dryness that I have on my lips, but that's my own fault. I should have exfoliated my lips beforehand. It is what it is. I'll continue to test it out and see how it performs later on down the road. But the lip oil I think is very comfortable, very hydrating. It's nice and thin. It's staying put on my lips. It has a very soft wash of color, so it's not going to be super pigmented. I think this is going to be flattering on a lot of people, honestly. It looks a little intimidating, but as you saw when I swatched it out, it doesn't have a lot of color to it. And the last product in this collection that I picked up is the highlighter, and for me, this is my favorite product out of the bunch, and that's because it just looks so beautiful on the cheeks. I can't get over how wet looking and smooth and reflective it is, and it doesn't look like clownish or anything like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like, oh, she's got a lot of highlighter on. It just looks absolutely beautiful and beaming, and I'm obsessed with this highlighter. I don't know what else to say other than that. I don't like to throw that word around. I know a lot of people do, and it's kind of like a taboo word, but that's the first word that comes to mind. But that is going to complete this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. I want to know if you picked up this collection, if you plan on picking it up, what your experience with it was, and what your favorite product was. I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.